Good afternoon, everybody. How are y'all doing today? I'm heading out to the farm today to do some work, but before I do, I thought I would go through and take a video tour of the farm, just to give y'all a look at what the farm looks like right now before all the work is said and done. And then we'll do a farm tour video later after all the work is done. So, you know, before and after video. This will be the before video. It is in some disarray right now. You know, not being out there for a year. Weeds have grown up. Trees have fallen over trails. People have torn stuff off of our cabin. They've broken, they've stolen stuff, so it's really trashed right now. And I'm quite certain most of my tools are gone by now. I've not really gone through where we had all the tools at and stuff, but majority of them were in the cabin still. And the cabin, there's nothing that I saw in the cabin, so I think, yeah, they grew legs and walked off. But I'm gonna hop off here now, and I will see you at the farm here in a few short minutes, and we will begin the tour. Thanks for joining me. Who's this dumb dog? Who's this dumb dog? What are you doing? Come here. Alright, so now that we're done playing with my sister's dogs, just kind of giving you a panoramic view of me and my sister's property. Hers is right next door. So my property pretty much runs a little to the right of this driveway, and then kind of cuts off into the woods down to the creek. But for safety reasons, my sister's allowing me to keep the tiny home up here next to her house. So we'll go ahead and go in here real quick. Let the light adjust. So not been in here for a while, so it's kind of dusty and some cobwebs, but we never got the ceiling panel put up, so the insulation appears to be falling a little. We never finished this 100%. You know, you see we got some trim work and stuff we have to do. But yeah, we got it finished enough to stay in when we needed to. We'd put some water tanks in here. I had a gray water tank under the sink. We had this buddy heater for heat. There's the propane tanks. And this was kind of our pantry, which we need to clean it out. And there's a Van Gogh. But yeah, so we just kind of use it right now for a little weekend getaway when we're out here working on the farm. You know, our little solar panel. She's not quite finished. We'll finish her up this fall. Still got a few things to do. Of course, I got to put up the galvanized that goes on the side. I got the galvanized on the other side, but need to trim up the rubberized roofing. We put a tarp up there just for safety's sake. And over here was our intended garden that we never got around to this spring, but this is kind of our water catchment system off this little shed we have here. And that's got about 250 gallons of rainwater in it, which I will have to drain before winter. So, but we only use this rainwater for, we only use it for the garden area. So, yeah, but the only thing we got started out here this year was some sage. Oh, look. There's a praying mantis right there. So we got tons of those out here. But the sage did pretty good. We had some onions growing over there. This is one of our little fire pits. And we had some onions growing right here. So as far as garden wise, that's all we put out this year. That is just like our little tool shed. We put garden tools and stuff in. We brought a majority of the stuff up here, so no one would steal it, but this hasn't stopped them. And inside here, just kind of some extra storage. We had a shower, solar shower thing hanging there, so if we wanted to hose off when we were up here, and y'all know what that is, so I'm not going into detail about that. But we have a compost pile we put all that stuff in. So that's up here by the house, by my sister's house. Luckily she lives next door. So now we will start our way back to the old homestead. We'll see what all's left back there. It's pretty gnarly right now. Not been back there in a while, but it looks like somebody's been back there, because I noticed when we pulled in, there is all sorts of activity on the dirt road here. So I'm gonna head on back here and see what there is to see. Okay, so forgive me if I start sounding a little out of breath. I am pushing 300 pounds, but it's also pushing 90 degrees out today, and I wore black, so I'm gonna sound a little out of shape today. But yeah, I'm walking across the field right now, and I don't know if you can see it in the video back there in that back corner. That is my brother who lives back there. Lives in a little Winnebago trailer. So all I can say about that is, with the Winnebago and everything, I don't want to talk ill about other people, but think Breaking Bad. And as far as my tools coming up missing, every time I have went looking for them, that's where I found them. So yeah, it can be a dangerous situation, which anymore I don't get involved. But yeah, so yeah, Breaking Bad. So let me switch. Oh God, I thought it was a snake. Oh my God. Oh. Part of a belt. Let me switch this camera around and show you what we're heading toward. Alright. So here we have, this was the entry to our farm. We had a lot going on back here back in the day, but yeah, it looks like there's been cars back here. The grass is flattened down, but essentially, I need to get this cleaned up back here and mowed down, weed eated, whatnot. And this is one of my first projects I'll be needing to do is getting this barbed wire fence here finished. I think the barbed wire is actually still down there. Yeah, it's still there. Nobody stole that. But another thing we need to do is this cleaned up, and we need to get that gate that's in the weeds there put up, and we need to get this well covered because that's pretty dangerous, open well. But essentially, here was some of our gardens. It's all overgrown now, but we're going to get this mowed down this fall, and we haven't decided whether this part will be converted to the orchard or the garden again. I don't know. We'll see. But eventually, right here is where we're going to park Willem, the tiny home that's up there. So yeah, we're going to park him right there. So he is out of my sister's hair while we're gone. And this little grove right here of cedar trees, kind of gonna clean it out, but essentially we were gonna start a patio in here and put some stone down, do a patio. Oh, there's my shovel. And there is the start of one of our mini fire pits we have going on out here. But yeah, we're going to put up some privacy fence in here. We're going to put down some stone 12 by 12 pavers and all of this. Little gate that it's actually a trail that goes into the woods right there, which I'll take you on here in a little bit. But yeah, just kind of a nice, quiet little patio area, nestled in this little cedar grove here, surrounded by cedar trees. So eventually this will probably be where I'm shooting a lot of the outdoor intros and stuff, because it's fairly quiet here, blocks the wind. Just nice place to concentrate. But let's go on to the next site. So yeah, we never laid gravel down here, which was kind of intentional. Didn't want a lot of people coming back here and bothering us, but we may actually get to laying some gravel within the next year or so from the road back to the tree line. But this is a little water ditch that goes through there, and it kind of drains off all the field water over there. And this centerpiece right here is, can't really see it well because of all the wildflowers and the field maples and everything, but it's kind of like a low-lying wetland. There's a pond out there in the center, and essentially we are going to plant some wildflowers in there, some more cattails and milkweed, and that's essentially going to be this little loop all the way around the tree line is essentially going to be like a little watering spot for the deer, the possums, the raccoons, and the flowers will serve for the honeybees, and just kind of its own little ecosystem out here in the middle of the field. But we're gonna clear all this down between the wetland and the drainage ditch. And we're going to plant some persimmon trees down through here. And through here up to those fence posts, we're going to put 2 or 3 apple trees. And where these fence posts are, somewhere in all of this mess, there is some grapevines. Don't even know if they're still alive or not, to be honest. But actually, yeah, I think they may be. I don't know. Anyway, if they're not, we'll just replant those. And that was going to be a row of grapevines through here to this little arbor thing we put up. So that's another thing we're going to be putting out here. All of this mess was a massive garden. 3 gardens actually. On the far side we did corn and green beans and pumpkins, and the middle section we did like zucchinis, cucumbers, and then this section was a whole bunch of potted plants for the smaller plants, your brassicas, your wild herbs, your regular herbs. And this was just kind of this old trampoline ring. It's kind of where we threw all the brush and debris and stuff, let it break down. And this was like a parking area. So when we had friends over, this is where they all parked. But anymore, nobody comes out here because of the incidents with the neighbors. But yeah, I don't know if I can lift this up high enough. You can probably see where there used to be a garden in there. But yeah, it's all overgrown. It needs a lot of work. Yeah, a lot going on here. A lot of stuff laying around that I had intended uses for. Never got around to it. They didn't steal the junk. So yeah, there's that. Coming around the corner here, this is kind of our scrap metal pile and scrap wood pile. That's always been a mess, I don't mind that. Now it looks like someone uprooted our flag. Yeah, you'll have that. I'm not getting into that. I don't want to... Anyway. Yeah, there's one of our tool sheds. I'm not going to go mess with it right now. Notice the bees and yellow jackets have been pretty hardcore this year. I just got over poison ivy. I don't want to start nursing some bee stings or anything like that. Okay, now comes the sad part. This back here was our old cabin. It don't look like much. It wasn't much, to be honest with you. But we were pretty proud of it. What we accomplished with all recycled materials, reclaimed materials. FYI, we ripped all the siding off because we used the siding, and we started taking some pieces off the outside because we are tearing it down. But kind of got really hot at the beginning of spring, so we just kind of stopped and we're waiting until winter to finish demolishing it. But we used some of the material for Willem, the tiny home. Big pile of stuff there that we need to get rid of. There's one of our hammocks back there. One of our trails that got overgrown. This, believe it or not, was a road that went all the way around the back, all the way around the back side of the cabin, and back out to the field. So, oh, another hammock. So it is really hard for you to get the grasp of what it looked like out here, and I'm just kind of showing you what it's like now. And that's the whole purpose of this video, so we can take you along for round 2, get everything cleaned up, and show you the way it was and the way we meant for it to be. This is another truck trail into the woods. It's kind of not been mowed down in a while. I have to be careful because we do got some pretty big snakes out here. Most of them are just black rat snakes, and we got some hognose snakes, which are harmless. I mean, I'm sure if one bit you, it would hurt, but we're not so much concerned about those as we are the copperhead, which we haven't seen a copperhead out here for years, so I'm not so worried about that. That is the only venomous snake we actually have in this region. Again, there's a trail that goes up through there. There's that hammock. There's the cabin back there. But yeah, so no real snakes we really have to worry about back here. This was kind of like our party area. This is probably going to be the less weedy of all the spots because we kind of kept it down a lot during the fall and stuff before we left. There's a bonfire pit and some chairs out here. We had a swing, and my swing appears to be gone. So somebody pilfered my swing. But that is to be expected out here. Like I said, things have a tendency of growing legs and walking off out here, and nobody wants to take responsibility for it. All they want to do is point fingers. But yeah, sad. Anyway, oh, sorry little spider, I gotta kind of move your nest, your web. But this down here is what we affectionately came to know as Camp Quarantine. When COVID hit, this is actually where we spent a good amount of our time. We didn't stay in the cabin a lot. The weather was nice. We were out here just kicking back, relaxing, just enjoying nature, having a good old time. There's what's left of our fire pit. But yeah, it actually looks like the deer have been using our trail pretty heavy this year, which is great, I guess. Oh, another hammock back there. But yeah, and that was a pad that we had one of our tents on. I can go up here and check, see if one of my ginseng plants is still here, because my brother has a tendency to steal them to fuel his addiction. Oh, yes. And look, it's got berries. We can replant those, and we can start growing more ginseng out here. So anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So, down that valley is a creek that runs the whole perimeter of our property. If you go down the hillside, there's just a creek that goes way out there and around the coast. It just kind of follows the contour of the land. That is our natural back property line, and that is my back property line. I will not take you down there today because honestly, I just got over the poison ivy, and I see poison ivy around here, and still not afraid. I'm afraid to get in it. I see something pretty neat. I'm going to show you guys this. Hi there, little fella. And he's a baby too. I'm not going to hurt you. Yeah. We see so many of these out here. So much wildlife. And that's why we love it out here. Besides our neighbors, we love the animals. We love the nature. Love the peace and quiet. Sometimes. Fall's coming, so hunting season is right around the corner. So it's going to get pretty loud back here before long. Kind of got, don't know if you can see it, a little stair we lashed together, handrails, and we dug a staircase into the hillside down to the creek. This was a little area that we'd cleared out, and we had a bench there, and we kind of used it for meditating. And we found, if you see our little gnome over there in the tree. But, yeah, we have this trail also goes around the whole perimeter of our property. That was a spot we cleared out. We just kind of cut a trail through there, and there's actually a big trail between where I'm at now and the cabin. And it's actually still there as a horseshoe pit. But this right here is, right now, don't laugh, it's a little ritual area. This is where my wife comes down and we do our little pagan rituals. And no, we're not sacrificing babies, or we're not sacrificing anything really. That's just a common misconception. It gives us a bad name. But just one more thing for people to fear and not understand, because they don't want to take the time to learn about other people's religions and customs and whatnot. But hey, that's fine. To each his own, I guess. I have a tree that fell recently, so I'll have to cut that up for firewood. Yeah, here's some limbs I was working on before things went downhill out here at the farm. Need to cut that limb up. This was a little, kind of a little pond area right here, and we had a fire pit that looks like somebody's been back here burning their own stuff lately. Nice. Had a futon out here with some patio pads on it. There's kind of the horseshoe pit we had. Sorry, got a cobweb in my hair. But yeah, that was kind of like a little bar we had when we had parties out here. People just kind of hang out, sit on the benches. This bench looks like it's seen better days. We never really finished this one. Well, we finished it at one point and took it apart, and we were going to rebuild it, and we never got around to it. We had too many irons on the fire. Essentially, I think this is where this trip ends, because right in there's the cabin, and that is the trail, but it has overgrown with saplings and stuff after a year of no use. So I'm going to shut this off and I'll walk around a little bit, see if I can't find something else for y'all to look at before I end this video. So I'll just kind of do a slow pan. And honestly, once these trails are cleared, especially in the fall, you get a better view of everything in the fall. I mean, it's actually pretty magical out here in the fall. But yeah, let me hop off here and walk around and do a little more surveying before I restart this video. I'll catch you in a few. Hey y'all, Brandy here. Sorry I had to cut that video short. Ran into the yellow jackets I was talking about, so kind of made a beeline for the tree line, so to speak. But I'm back here at the house, so essentially that was the unimpressive grand tour of what our property looks like right now. But you know, if you stay tuned, follow along in the weeks to come, it will really begin to take shape. We'll be coming out there a couple times a week to slowly work my way into the field and into the tree line and reestablish the garden plots and get everything fixed like I discussed in the video. So if you're curious about more, curious about following along, this will probably be what a majority of our videos will be this winter. And hopefully I can get it all up and going, back to square one by spring, but that's asking a lot, especially with just being one person. I had a couple friends helping at the get-go of all this when we did it the first time around, as well as my wife, but I think everyone's disenchanted this time around, and but I'm not ready to give up on it. So thanks for coming along on the tour today, and I will be uploading more videos in the weeks to come of the progress. Until then, see you later.